So you went to high stand, that's what it's called, and then you opened Carolina Combat. Is that after Tough, or how did like Carolina Combat come?
So, Tom opened CCS a little while after Tough, and it was just yeah, that's a funny story. I mean, so like off the rip, like when I first started training, my goal, like after we got past the first two fights, you know what I'm saying, I started training, like it wasn't a bucket list anymore. I was like, my goal was to get to the next level, as irrational as that sounded. And Tom, his dream was always to coach someone at the next level, you know what I'm saying? That was like both of our, like we connected on that. It's like both, like I had aspirations to get to the next level, he had aspirations to coach someone at the next level, you know what I mean? And you know, the other coaches, you know what I'm saying? They were good dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh, great for those early years. But for them, it was like, honestly, like more of a, side thing, you know what I'm saying? Something, they did it, but it wasn't like something where like they weren't serious about,
Breeding in UFC
yeah,
or something for the
doing
next
that, or
level.
doing what was necessary to do that. And so, um, it really kind of, when COVID hit, that's when like, shit hit the fan and you're like, okay, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And, Tom stepped up like in big ways during that time, you know what I'm saying? Working with the fighters, he was the head of the fight team, you know what I'm saying? He was really the only coach doing things with the fight team. And, like everyone had their roles, you know what I'm saying? Every coach had their things, and that's kind of like what they did. And then after Tough, after I got back from Tough, that's when things kind of started changing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like it was, it's like people's intentions, like it's like might have been good, but it was like, there was definitely um, a little bit of entitlement going on, and just a lot of people were just on different pages. You know what I'm saying? So when Tom wanted to open up his own spot, because he was just getting to a point where it was like there was like a lot of tension between him and the other head guy. You know what I mean? And so he went and opened up his own spot. You know what I'm saying? Me and a lot of the fighters went with him because it was like I said, if anyone had been there for an extended period of time, he knew who like was the coach. You know what I'm saying? And so, we went over there, and it's like we've been doing our thing over there, and it's like we've been having a lot of success ever since, you know what I'm saying? Kind of streamlining things, kind of cutting out some unnecessary stuff, and really dialing in on the things that we've seen like work, you know what I mean? Um, and so, it's paying a lot of dividends, you know what I mean? So, it's unfortunate how this is what happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because there's still some hard feelings about all that. But it was definitely necessary. As like you can see, right? Even if you look at the fight team record before the split happened versus the fight team record since, it's pretty like eye opening. You know what I'm saying? On both ends of the spectrum, like their fight team record and our fight team record. So
I mean, that's definitely one thing I learned from him, like about gyms. I would just assume, if you were a gym, you wanted to train someone to get to the next level. But that was something like he had to learn at the first gym he went to was more of like a family gym aspect.
We're just some gym owners who's entrepreneurs.
Right,
yeah,
in a
yeah,
sense.
yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a big, like, there's a lot of demand for a gym like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like someone who has a full time job who just wants to learn how to defend themselves and get in shape. You know what I'm saying? Can go and get work, and then not to mention like outside of fighting, the things you get out of training, like the or, if you're at a good gym with like a healthy social environment, the friends you can develop, you know what I'm saying, the relationships you build. Um, how much self growth you can go through from training. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's definitely different avenues for different mixed martial arts kinds of gyms, but yeah, you know, saying like our gym just happens to be a gym that's focused on competition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Takes a certain kind of dedication to build the fighter to that, you know.
One of the things I really liked about TCS was like when I was in there, usually like there's like a lot of people in a gym and then there's like a few fighters, but it seemed like there was a lot of fighters and like just a few people that were training. I was like, okay, it's a good place to be.
Well, it's like, and even the people who aren't fighters, you know what I'm saying?
Are still fucking good.
Yeah, they're still solid. You know what I mean? There's not like what I appreciate. There's not a whole lot of fluff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, honestly, even the people who don't fight there are still competitive.
Yeah.
Like, they still compete in a thing.
Yeah, or capable of competing on things. So, no, it's good. I love the gym. You know what I'm saying? I love the environment. You know what I'm saying? All the people that are there. You know, it's a good way of like weeding out people that wouldn't like mesh because it's like if that's not what you're into, like you'll come one day and like be gone the next. You know, it's like not gonna stick around. So, yeah, man, gym, fucking love that place, dude.
So you said something about how like the gym in general is just like a good place for people with mental clarity, etc. What got you in there, man? I feel like everyone who fights or has aspirations to fight, like there's more than like I just want to like fight. Or was it just that simple? You were like I just want to fight, or did you feel like it was just like something deeper than that?
Um, I think it's like a combination. You know what I'm saying? Like I think on one hand, it's like I've always watched anime. You know what I'm saying? I've always been kind of like aggressive leaning. Like I've like always like soft spoken outside of, but it's like I would love to wrestle. And, like always talk about doing Fight Club with the boys in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? But then so yeah, I've always had a desire to fight in some way, but then on top of that, I've always wanted to do something like not normal. You know what I'm saying? It's like even at the cost of like making money. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't want to do something boring. You know what I'm saying? I want to do something. I want to do something cool. I want to like be great at it. You know what I mean? So fighting kind of gave me that attitude. It was like I was like, I felt like I could be good at it. You know what I mean? So